Hey, this is Ben Solomon, and welcome to this episode of the Techno Leadership Show. In this episode, we're going to be talking about, is the focus on efficiency killing your business and burning out your staff, especially your technology and service staff? So if you've been working in the industry, in organizations, big and small, unless you're in a very big organization with a lot of funding, a lot of support and great leadership that actually understands this whole concept that I'm going to be talking about, you've come across places where you've been squeezed, like you as one person probably doing 2 or 3 people's jobs. And I've been in organizations that have done this for a significant period of time. I've seen things happen. In some organizations, I've been able to affect change, really help the leadership understand everything that's going on and the amount of work that everyone's doing to be able to keep everything afloat. But in other organizations, I've had leaders who've had zero idea about things and had zero interest in knowing about the well-being, the workload, and all that sort of thing of people in the teams, especially technology teams, and even other teams. From what I've spoken to the heads of other areas of these businesses where we've had difficult leaders, it's been the same across the board. You have a core group of people that are taken well care of, but anyone who falls out of that core group and is in support services doesn't get the support, the funding, and all that's required. And from everything that I've seen, and correct me if I'm wrong, like I'd rather know other people's experiences, but I've sat back and thought about every organization that I've worked in the last close to 20 years. I've seen organizations where there's been support. Yes, there's probably been squeeze, and then you actually let the leadership know that these are the issues that are happening and this is why you need more funding, more staff, more, all of that sort of thing. And they go, oh, I understand how much stress you're under, how much workload you and your team are under, and yes, let's get another team member on or a couple of team members on, whatever it might be. And then you have the other organizations where people up there have zero idea of what's going on, no matter how much with data. You pull data out of ITSM platforms. You pull data out of what's going on. You bring correlative data about how much not investing in the tech stack or tech staff members is causing anxiety and direct hit to productivity, and you still don't get the funding, you don't get the support, and it boggles my mind. And what I've come to realize is these quote-unquote leaders, managers, have the mindset of cut, make it more efficient, without thinking about the effectiveness. Efficiency, effectiveness. At the end of the day, if you're a business that's profitable, running well, all that sort of thing, you want it to continue to scale effectively, not efficiently. Efficiency is a secondary thing that you look at after effectiveness. And for effectiveness, your teams that are working, various departments, support, management, upper management, middle management, and then, C-level and board level. All these things need to be made to work for effectiveness. If you're just cutting for efficiency, you reach a point where you have diminishing returns. And I believe we've reached that stage. And based on some research that I've looked at, from about the 1970s, the amount of productivity per person working has gone up due to the uptake of technology, other resources, other effectiveness and efficiencies that have been pulled in, all that sort of thing. But you have wages that haven't kept up with that. You have workloads that have added onto people, because how do you get this productivity? Yes, technology does a significant amount of leverage. It gives you a significant amount of leverage. But who's going to manage and maintain that technology? Who's going to ensure all that is secure? All your data is secure, all your crucial customer data, everything is secure. It's technology teams. You can't, even if you go to the cloud or whatever it might be, you can't quote unquote outsource it to the vendors. Yes, the vendors have certain standards and frameworks, and they might be ISO compliant and all that sort of thing. But at the end of the day, your internal, or if you have a managed service provider, they are the ones who have to manage and ensure that it meets your governance guidelines, and it meets your business needs, and it meets your staff needs or customer needs. And if you keep cutting for efficiency, there comes a point when you can do no more. We can't keep working 12 and 18-hour days to keep everything afloat. It's just not tenable. Like, there's a point at which you burn out and you go, enough's enough, and you even lose passion for the work that you do. And I'm seeing that not just in the technology space, I'm seeing it elsewhere, but I'm speaking to you technology leaders and technology professionals to keep an eye out for these sort of things, and to not let you be squished into that little bucket. Because what happens is, new platforms are introduced because of someone above you making the decision, but you don't get the resources required to support that. You might have, like, since at least the early 2010s, which is 2010, 11, 12, 13 sort of period, to now, we've had a significant explosion of technology in any business. Yet, most of those businesses are probably still running on staffing, especially technology and service staff levels, at levels at the early 2010s. So we had this explosion of technology implemented, which means there's an exponential amount of work that needs to be done, exponential number of integrations that need to be done, things that need to be managed, security that needs to be ensured, accessibility that needs to be ensured, all of these things. Yet we're functioning on the same number of staff. And some tech leaders even, or managers, go, oh yeah, we should be able to still do that because we've moved this load there, that load there, but you still have all these extra things to look at, extra things to manage. You need more resources, and you need to be looking at the ROI of the work, of the platforms, of the things, value that you're creating. If you're working in a business that's making 20, 30, 40, 50 million dollars a year, do you not think that your department should be getting a significant chunk of that? Because technology is the infrastructure of everything. It supports every aspect of the business. And the staff that you have, support staff, engineers, managers, executive leaders in that area, or even other service areas, make a significant impact. Look, I am the first person to understand and accept that sales comes first with marketing, and then operations and finance and all that. And none of the other areas would have the money to get paid if sales and marketing don't bring in the moolah, so to speak. But once that happens, every other aspect has to be optimized for effectiveness, so that everything that is being promised at the front end can be delivered with the right experience to your clients who deserve that experience. They're coming to you for a specific experience. They're not just coming to you for, just because you're one of the people in the market. Most of the people coming to you are coming for a certain type of experience. And yes, if your experience is going to be the cheap and nasty, yeah, probably that's what you'd be going for. Efficiency, cut to the bottom dollar sort of thing. But if you're actually promising a premier experience, then, well, you better have that premier experience internally throughout your stack, throughout technology, throughout services, throughout every aspect of your business. It frustrates me to no end seeing this sort of thing happening. And especially in the technology departments where we pick up, oh yeah, we'll do that. And at the end of the day, there's more work at the end of the day than when we start. And it's like, seriously, you have a to-do list that goes that long with all these things in there, and you go at the end of the day feeling like you have done nothing, even though you've put in 150% of you, and you've worked 12 hours, or 16 hours, 18 hours sometimes. That's only going to lead to burnout country. That's it. Get to a point where you just can't do it. It's not sustainable anymore. You're doing a person and a half or two people's work, maybe even more people's work, but compressed into that 16 hours that you can even keep your brain working. It's not effective for the organization. It might be efficient for the organization because they're paying only one person, but the amount of leverage value that they can get is lower, because after a certain point, you're not really as productive as you can be. You're not as creative as you can be. You're not fully refreshed and being able to give more of yourself. And I think there needs to be a conscious understanding among all stages of business to realize that you need to be looking at effectiveness more than efficiency. And if you're in a leadership position, a management role, again, think about it. Think about how your staff are. Are you burning them out? Are you burning yourself out? We all have a choice. We all have to do something about it, whether it's going up and getting the resources that we can, or if no one's willing to put in the resources required, it's time to move on. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to protect yourself. This career is not a 2-year, 3-year thing. It's a long-term career, especially if you're passionate about the technology, passionate about the people that you're serving. It's a long-term gig. And for that, you need to continue to be fresh, continue to be focused, continue to have that passion. And if you're in an environment where you're not supported, you're not appreciated, you're not recognized, and not given the resources that you need so that you can be effective, it's going to kill your passion, it's going to burn you out, and just lead to completely being unproductive and unfulfilled. Yes, it's a bit of a rant, but it's something that I had to get off my chest because it's been eating me up inside, going, I need to talk about this. I need leaders out there, the next generation of leaders especially, to recognize this, whether you're going into technology leadership or you're going into general leadership, CEO, CFO, COO, whatever position. Anyways, that's me getting it off my chest, and hopefully it's given you some perspective, something to think about. Like, I'm not asking anyone to take what I say as the truth. All I'm saying is consider the perspective. Consider that as part of your decision making. Consider that as part of your day-to-day thinking. And see if that effectiveness, when practiced over a long period, you can't just do it and 2 months down the track think, this is not working. you have to give it at least 18 to 24 months to see that change in attitude that comes from giving people resources, giving people space, giving people mental space, time to think, time to be able to do some learning, time to be able to contribute more value than what they're paid for in a sense. Comes from giving people that space. So hopefully that has been something that you can use in your thinking processes, and I wish you all the best in your journey as tech professional, manager and leader. And if you like this video, please hit the like button, and if you haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button, and I look forward to talking to you in a future episode soon. Take care and have a great day. See you soon. Bye.